We have a very special guest in studio today, the great and powerful Amanda Digby.
Welcome.
Yeah, she's got a very long resume of things that she's done, and we're going to get into it. She's a friend of ours from Watson's, and well, Amanda, you've lived in a van, you've traveled to 40 different countries, you keep kids alive in the ICU. Which one of these chapters has taught you the most about who you really are?
That's such a hard question because it all just kind of led into one of had I not traveled for 6 years before starting school for anything, to help people, I wouldn't have been the same person. So I think I got that out. But I will say my career has.
So you traveled before you became a nurse?
Yep. Yeah. So I pretty much left the country. I'm not a nurse.
Oh,
Respiratory
you're not a nurse.
therapist.
Respiratory therapist. Excuse me.
So pretty much the day I turned 18, I went and traveled. I had signed up to be an au pair abroad in Germany.
Oh.
And yeah. And so I went there. I started work. Actually, I went to Amsterdam first time out of the country. And then, you guys remember chat roulette?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I spent a lot of time.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm into what I'm into.
What's chat roulette?
It was this platform that when you went on to the website and pressed start, it would connect you to anybody in the whole entire world.
It was like a webcam thing.
And it got a little penisy sometimes, no complaints. But I was on there one night. It was the night before my birthday, right before I was moving to Germany. And I was just making everyone say happy birthday. And then I'd click next and it would connect you to somebody else throughout the world. And then I found this Austrian guy. I was like, dude, it's my birthday tomorrow and we're going to be neighbors soon. And he's like, well, happy birthday. Why don't you come visit me before you go to Germany? And I said, okay. So I went to I went to Austria for a little while, then started my job in Germany. When I left that job, I called him and I was like, hey, I'm kind of done here. He said, okay, meet me at the train station in Austria. And I went and lived with his family, not even with him. When I had originally visited, I had met him in Vienna. And then after spending, a week or two there, we went to his family's house. He introduced me to everyone. And so after that, I ended up living in Austria for a bit with his family. He went back to where he was living across the country. And it just started this whole thing of for the next 6 years, I would come back to the States, work as much as I could, travel again, to wait until I ran out of money and just, back and forth. When I turned 24, some family stuff happened and I had to come back to the States just to be around. And I decided if I'm going to be here, might as well go to college. And I didn't know what I wanted to do. All I had cared about was traveling and hockey. I was very into hockey at the time, like super into it. I had just gotten back from Thailand and it was the Stanley Cup finals and we were up in the middle of the night and there was a whole group it was me and a bunch of Canadians like watching, And so I was like, fuck it, I'll just do PTOT and just go work with hockey players. But while I was filling out the application, you could also check like massage therapist, respiratory therapist. And I was like, it'd be kind of funny if I did all of them. And then I just fucking clicked all of them. And respiratory got back to me first. Didn't know what respiratory was at all. Didn't even know what the word meant. And I just said, fuck it. I'm going to be a respiratory therapist. Signed up. Didn't look into it at all. And the first day of school, they showed us this video of a guy with a hole in his throat. And he was talking and I thought, the fuck did I get myself into?
Yeah.
This was the dumbest thing. But I'm here now. So I call it my happy accident because it's actually the best job I've ever had. I've worked with both adults and kids, but man, working with kids is like, there's no feeling like it. I genuinely don't mind working for a living because I have the coolest job. I don't think I could have found anything better for me. So I guess to answer your question, maybe my job has definitely made me such a better person, more humble person. Most people want to sit here and say, oh, I don't want to turn 30. I don't want to be 35. But I'm so fucking stoked to be 35. Not everybody gets to turn 35. And when you see kids die for, or get sick or all these, these parents, and it just makes you so much more thankful for everything. So I think, probably just shaped me as a person. I'd have to say my job.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just thinking about that as a father, I couldn't imagine like children. Oh man, that'd be terrible.
It is the saddest job that I could ever imagine. Definitely for sure. But our beautiful moments are so beautiful.
So are you going in after like surgery, or if like a newborn is having trouble breathing and you're working with them on their breathing? And
sometimes. So yeah, it can be a newborn. I don't generally work in the NICU, which is right after they're born, but I get, kids a day old, or I mean, we have some chronic kids that are adults. I've had a kid who's older than me in there, but in general, it can be chronic kids. It can be traumas. You know, they've gotten into an accident. I've had weird things happen. I've worked all over the country. I don't remember if it was Montana or Idaho. I had a kid because a cattle gate fell on him, or just like weird freak accidents that just, you know,
crushed his lungs, I guess.
Yeah. Or sometimes, you know, a kid just gets a virus and it just fucks them up, and they just end up on every machine we have. Like, so it can be anything. But yeah, it's, we have chronic kids. I was going to say, when you said, you can't imagine, one of the first kids that I lost, and one of the reasons that I appreciate my job so much and I'm so proud to do what I do, the first moment in my life that I've actually thought, like, just been absolutely humbled. And you guys know me, I'm not speechless. Like,
No.
but,
if you're one thing, you're not speechless.
Never. One of the first ever kids that I lost, he was a cancer. I don't want to, get too specific, but he was a cancer kid, and he couldn't eat or drink for like the longest time. But his favorite fucking TV channel was the Food Channel. That kid just watched the Food Channel constantly, and anytime I could, I'd go hang out with him, and we'd just watch together and talk about food. And he wanted to be a chef and all these cool things. And the night that he passed away, the night that I realized how important my job was, I had gone in with the nurse, and we had said we were watching on the outside monitors, giving them a few minutes, and I walked in and told them, hey, Mama, his heart stopped. And, we leave, we make everything peaceful in there, and we give them their time. But as every family member walked out, they hugged me and they said, thank you. And I just thought, like, this is the worst day of their life, So in the saddest times, like, it's crazy how you can just feel like so humbled and like this big,
Right.
It's crazy. But I also have the happiest times, like when we see these really sick kids come in and then I see them walk out all by, I worked at a burn unit once, and there's this kid who had like a crazy amount of burns, and he had just gone through so much. He had come in from another country. His parents didn't speak English. They weren't planning on coming here. It was just like the worst year and a half of the whole family's lives. And watching him go back to the country he's from recently was like, it's so cool to see them get better. Cool. And I keep in contact with some of the parents. We're not totally supposed to do that, but keeping in contact and just getting updates and pictures, and it's cool. It was the happiest accident ever.
That's great.
Yeah.
And so you said you've been all over the country. Is there one place in particular here in the country that you've enjoyed working more than others?
The hospital I'm at now is my absolute favorite. I've been very vocal about that to them. Before that, I probably liked Kansas City a lot. I loved working in Montana, not so much the hospital, but for other reasons. But yeah, I love the hospital I'm at here.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you're from where?
I'm from Florida.
Okay.
What part?
Doesn't surprise me that you're from Florida. If you look at her shirt.
The other day I was at work, in an ICU, and I was like making a shiv out of a toothbrush because I thought it was funny, because we just give these kids these stupid plastic toothbrushes, and I was like, guys, this is like a prison toothbrush. These kids deserve better. I can make a shiv out of this. And nobody said anything. So I was like, I got to prove my point. And so I started making the shiv. And someone said something. They had come in and talked to someone else and said, where are you from? I said, Florida. They said, well, that fucking adds up. I said, yeah, okay. I can see the point here. I forgot where we were going with this.
Just you being from Florida.
Oh, yeah, I'm from Florida. Yeah. The sticks. Like, everyone thinks beach or whatever. I grew up in the north part of Florida, where we say the more north you go, the more south you go.
Mm-hmm.
So middle of nowhere, trailer parks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My parents now live kind of near Daytona, but they are surrounded by cabbage patches. So
okay.
Not beachy or Disney.
Nice. But then right from high school, you went and traveled like all over the world, right? You said like 20 different countries or 40
somewhere like that, yeah. I think now I've been to somewhere around 40. I haven't really officially counted. And I also have I don't know, it's like I've been to Costa Rica, but I don't really ever count it because I didn't do anything. My first time I went to Sweden, I was like 18 or 19, and I went there and played I played World of Warcraft for a long time, and the guild I was in, they were all Swedish, and I was already in Europe, and there was a $30 plane ticket, so I was like, fuck it. You guys want to play video games? So I flew to Sweden, and we literally just played video games and got drunk. So yeah, I've been to Sweden. I've been back since, but can you really say you've been to Sweden if that's all you did?
Just went
you
there
know
to
what
play
I mean?
video games. Yeah.
Yeah. So I try to like count places I could say, oh, you should do this or have recommendations for.
That makes sense.
But you should get high or drunk and play video games in Sweden for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
What's been one of your favorite places that you've been out of the country?
So hard. I lived in the Republic of Georgia for a bit, and I have to say, if I could leave and just live anywhere, I loved it there so much. It's beautiful. It's so diverse. The people are amazing. They're so proud to be Georgian. And I mean,
Yeah, look at Marab.
I was going to say, look at the fighters that come from there. There's just so much talent and discipline. And yeah, it's beautiful. That's where wine was invented. It wasn't Italy. It was Georgia. Oh, I should have brought Georgian wine. Okay, you guys have to invite me back, and then we'll have some Georgian wine, and you'll see why it's the best.
Okay.
Cool.
What was like the guiding, like what guided you to go from like country to country, like at this time, like when you're just kind of bouncing around? Like, were you just like, I've spent enough time here, I'm going to go somewhere else? Or is it like, and like, where were you staying? You obviously didn't have the van, which we'll get into the van.
But, I've just always done what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it. My impulse control is non-existent. So there was, for instance, when I was in Thailand, I had been in Thailand for like 2 months at this point or something. And I was like, okay, I think I'm going to go to Vietnam on Sunday. We'll see. I don't know. Whenever I feel like it, I'll look at tickets. And like 3 hours later, I was out. There was like this little cart I always went and bought mango from. Before I went and walked around, and I met this group of people, and they're like, oh, we're going to one of the fights tonight. Do you want to come? I was like, fuck it. See you guys tonight. So when I met with them, had a really good night with them, and they're like, hey, in the morning, we're going to go and take a slow boat all the way to Laos. And it's just up the Mekong River. You're on it for like 4 days, and do you want to come? And I said, fuck it. So I just went to Laos with them. And so that's how I made all my decisions. I just felt like doing something, and I did it.
Wow.
Zero planning.
Did you have any concerns about safety or anything at that time? Just, yeah, okay.
Gun show, baby.
Yeah, I've always had this false sense of security with the shit I could do. Yeah, I had a knife pulled on me one time in Ecuador. That actually wasn't that long ago. It was before martial arts. And yeah, I don't know. I just have no problem going toe-to-toe with a man, which is stupid. Not saying for anyone to do it, but I just like...
You fought him?
I didn't fight him, but I pushed him and I started like screaming at him. And he had a kitchen knife. It was like that fucking big. Stab me with it. Go for it. But if you fucking think you're going to kill me and I'm not going to go down swinging, you're fucking retarded. Yeah. Like, no. So, yeah, anyway, he didn't stab me. I walked away. He ran away. I think he just didn't expect me. He just saw like some blonde little white girl and was going to take my phone. I need Instagram. It's worth my life.
So when you came back and when you're done traveling over, all over the world, you came back here, became a respiratory therapist, and that's when you started doing the traveling? The traveling here countrywide. That
was another thing that I didn't realize that made respiratory like a dream job for me, is once I realized that once you go out and get experience and truly know what you're doing, you can take contracts through different hospitals and travel wherever you want. So I think my first travel assignment was up in Idaho, and I never saw winter until I was living in Austria. So it was really cool to be back in winter, and I don't know, just silly little things. Like I was always excited that the water in my car was cold, like, but yeah, I just went to Idaho. I did a 13-week contract there, I think. All of our contracts are generally 13 weeks. Yeah. But yeah. And then you just go online, you see what jobs are available. And
is there like, I've always wanted, because I mean, I do, like I mentioned to you, I do the travel, the midterm rentals where I get a lot of traveling nurses. It's like, is there like a big network where you can just like go see all the contracts, or do you have to go to like each hospital individually, or how does that work?
Yeah. So I go through Aya, and Aya has their website, their platform where they have certain hospitals they'll contract through. So usually it's bigger cities.
Yeah, there's a few outfits like that, I think.
Yeah, there's multiple.
Aya's the big one I've dealt with.
Yeah, and my recruiter is the best recruiter I hear. Absolute nightmare. So shout out to Abby. She's the absolute best. So I'm not going anywhere, but I feel like they have a good group of hospitals they use. I don't know how many states I've worked in, over half a dozen at this point. And so as far as like moving around and having options, they're pretty good with that.
Wow.
So are you currently on a contract with the hospital here?
Mm-hmm.
Are you trying to get on full time since you love it so much, or are you wanting to travel still?
I am on contract. My year mark is coming up, so I actually have a week and a half of work left, and then I have to take 30 days off, and then I can start another contract. You know, the whole point is me being a traveler, so I'm expected to go home in my 30 days and all that good stuff. But then they've already signed me again, so I'll be back till April, and then we'll see from there.
So you get like a month off, and then you get back to work. That's cool.
Yeah.
So we got at least another month or another couple months of her.
Yeah.
At least till April.
Kicking her ass in the gym.
Yeah. You got to start showing up, buddy.
Yeah. Well, once I get this knee looked at, I'll be back.
Yeah.
I was telling Zach and them last night that, because I've been off and on for about a year now, and I usually will take time off during hockey season just to play hockey because I was playing that 3 times a week. I'm going to cut that back and just continue to focus on jiu-jitsu and then hopefully looking to get into some competitions next year.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah. Stick to
Okay.
it. Yeah. She's stealing you to it.
That's a handshake right there.
Yeah.
It's a binding contract.
It's on video.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've got especially now, getting more and more into it and then being around these guys and seeing them compete. It's like we went to one down in Festus a couple weekends ago and I was like, fuck, I want to do this.
Shoot.
Yeah, you were there. The one you did. That's right.
Yeah.
Shit. What am I thinking about? You
spend the night trying to talk to you and you would just ignore me. It's fine.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you think, in all seriousness, since you are excited about getting more into jiu-jitsu and competing, that you're maybe being a little bitch about your knee? Because when we were there in Festus, there was a guy with one leg fighting. And he wasn't being a little bitch about not even having a second.
Well, if they want to cut my leg off, I mean, that might make it easier. But like right now, it hurts.
We can cauterize it.
Yeah. Well, I was talking with one of the guys at the gym this morning, and he's like, "Oh, see if they'll just give you a cortisone shot." That's what I did, and it really helped with the pain. So I'm like, "That's fine. If I don't need my LCL to fucking do anything, then maybe it'll make me more flexible, and get me out of some leg locks."
Yeah. Who's trying to leg lock you?
Well, that's kind of what was happening when
it wasn't really a leg lock, right?
No, it was.
He had a dog fight, and like he had the knee pulled over in the dog fight, and Pat
rolled the wrong way,
like rolled funny on it.
So it's a Pat issue.
It was totally me.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely, 100% me. And so that hurt. So, but I go tomorrow, find out more tomorrow, find out what's going on. So.
Well, I'm excited for you to show up more and learn which way to roll.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Now, what got you? Well, actually, no. Before we get into jiu-jitsu, I want to talk about the van because that's when I found out that you lived in a van for a long time. That's just super interesting to me. What sparked? Like, how long have you had the van? Like, how long did you live in it? 'Cause obviously, I know now you have a brick and mortar home you're living in. Not living. Well, maybe not brick and mortar. I don't know. But it's you're not living in the van anymore. It's a
step above the van, kind of, in ways. So I got a divorce a few years ago, and when I started traveling for work and we were married, we actually lived in an RV, and just having an RV is such a pain in the ass. And I always, whenever I was talking at the hospital, I was like, yeah, if I didn't have a husband who was 6'3", I'd just buy a fucking van and my life would be significantly easier. And anyway, so not officially got a divorce. We were on the phone, decided to get a divorce. I was actually in Ecuador at that time. He is a merchant mariner, so he spent half the year on a ship. And so we decided to get a divorce. And it took me about 5 minutes. We got off the phone and I was like, well, I guess I'm going to look at some vans. And anyway, found a van, ended up buying it like a few days later. Had to cut my trip early, fly to Florida to get it. And drove. I went to Kansas City, I think, and I built it out, found a little Airbnb, went and bought a bunch of power tools. I didn't even know how to use power tools. The first day was my most aggravating day because all I was trying to do was build a floating floor frame, right?
Yeah, frame for the belt.
I know what I'm talking about. No, for the floor.
For the floor.
Floor frame. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, because it'd just be like a metal. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. To put like insulation under, and then you put your actual floorboard. So I spent fucking forever trying to figure out why the stupid fucking drill bit wouldn't stay on the goddamn drill, and not realizing you had to. Anyway, I thank God for YouTube, because that's how I learned how to use power tools. And I ended up. We need we need someone here. So I can be like, hey, pull this up. And I could have like had pictures and you can go through this little, I could.
Well, you can send us pictures and Murph put it
Murph,
in
she wants to be our Jamie.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So anyway, ended up building out the van. It actually didn't take me that long for someone with zero power tools. I worked on it probably about 3 days a week. It only took me about 7 weeks, I want to say, to build the whole thing out. It wasn't anything crazy. It wasn't like those beautiful Instagram ones, but had everything that I needed. Yeah. So I ended up living in it for, a little under 2 years, something like that. I'm not good with time frames, so I might be fucking that up. But yeah, something like that. And I found, so when I started training, I was like training multiple times a day. I was like taking 3 or 4 showers and going to a campground bathroom, or taking myself into Planet Fitness, or sneaking in at any time. But I feel like a jackass because like everyone's watching me walk in, take a shower and leave,
out,
you know? Ended up finding a place with indoor plumbing, which felt like a step up, but I don't have a bathroom door or kitchen sink. So I've been still kind of slumming it for a little, doing my dishes in the bathtub. But it was cheaper than parking the van. So it made sense.
Like, where did you park the van?
I mean, I had a driveway, or I have a driveway.
No, I meant like when you were living
in a campground.
Like you always went to a campground?
Kind of like the assignment before here. I was living in Ohio, and I actually would stay in parking lots overnight for free, and then I would just go to a different state park every weekend, like sit there and just have a fire all weekend, smoke way too many cigars, and then go back to living in parking lots. And yeah, I would just do that I did that for the 13 weeks. Or if I wasn't at a campground doing that, I would go hit the Bourbon Trail because I was like 2.5 hours away. So I'd just make a little list and start crossing them off. Yeah. Yeah.
Dude,
ultimate
crazy.
Freedom, baby.
No, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, just like I've always thought that like the whole van life is just like, that's such a cool, I mean, it's something that I probably could never do with 2 kids and a wife and all the things I have here, but like,
I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah. It's just like, it seems fun for like a short period of time.
Well, there's, the first time I heard of somebody doing that was actually a guy that got drafted the same year I did. He was a first round pick, signed for millions of dollars. And he bought a van and kind of just created souped it up, I guess. And
But how cool is that to live such a simple life?
Yeah.
And that's what I believe in, a simple life so much. Like even when I went to my parents' house, my mom would be like, "You're not sleeping in your van. You're sleeping in here." I'm like, "You guys don't. I live in here. I'm okay with it. Like this is everything is okay. I have everything I need."
Yeah.
So not going and spending excess money just because you have it is so smart.
Yeah. He probably spent this was a really, really nice one. So he probably spent a little bit on that. But I mean, all he did was he lived out in California, and he would just drive up and down the coast and surf every day. And then he would go and train and hop back in his van and drove somewhere else.
Freedom.
Yeah.
So, what a good life.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have any like crazy stories from your 2 years you were living in the van? Like anybody messing with you or like kicking you out of a parking lot, anything like that?
I was always really smart about it. I made it so you don't look at my van and think somebody lives in there. Would you guys ever?
No.
It looks like it looks like it'd be like
a work van.
Yeah, it looks like a electrician's van or something.
And I purposefully made it that way. I don't have an air conditioner. I don't have windows or anything that would ever give any indication. So I've made it a point to lay low for obvious reasons. I don't think so, except every now and then someone would just like come up and knock on the van door, which I always think is weird. One guy did it. I was picking up Mediterranean food and he just came in, like he saw me in the van and he just came knocking in, asking to look, but it was like 9:30 at night.
Yeah.
You're some dude coming up to me and that's weird, you know?
Yeah. No thanks.
So yeah, answer with the Glock and it's not an issue. I usually go around pretty soon. I have the same approach if a Mormon or anything comes to the door.
Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah. I had one come to my house in Florida and you answer naked with a fucking gun in your hand. They don't come back. They do not come back.
That's one way of doing it.
Yeah.
Especially if you're willing to talk.
Yeah.
Just stand there like it's normal. They don't. Yeah.
Well, how often do you make it back to Florida?
Not as much as everyone would like, probably.
Yeah.
But any of my off time, I was for a long time before I started martial arts. I was spending all my off time. I'd go abroad, and then I'd take 3 months between contracts, and I'd go live in Hungary, or just go travel, do whatever I wanted. My last trip, I took a while off. I went to Antarctica and Argentina and a bunch of stuff, and then I'd just come back, find a job. I'm pretty much doing the same thing I did before I was an RT. I'm more responsible about it now.
So you went to Antarctica.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like?
It was awesome.
The cold?
Yeah. But actually, you want to know something crazy?
Yeah.
The week that I was in Antarctica, I was on a contract in Kansas City at the time, living in the van. And it was colder in Kansas City than it was in Antarctica because there it's summer, right? And I came back and my entire van, I went from like Antarctica where I was pissed off. I wasn't wearing any of my winter stuff, like a long sleeve and maybe a jacket. And I came back to Kansas City. My generator had frozen over. Like there was ice on my generator, everything. Some fucking idiot had moved a picnic table right by my driver's door, but a bunch of ice had melted. So I couldn't even like move the picnic table to get into my driver door. It was like, it was a nightmare, but yeah. But yeah.
God, you've gone to so many different places.
Well, where do you go in Antarctica to visit? Like you keep hearing about it's just a barren land.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a military base there. Mm-hmm. Actually, we can go into some Antarctica conspiracy theories. There's a whole city underground.
Oh, okay.
Do you guys know about this?
No.
For the rich and the elite. There's also conspiracies that there's bombs under there.
Something would happen.
Weapons. Yeah. So it's wild. You guys should look into that.
Huh.
Okay. A lot of times you spend on the boat, you go on little excursions if you want. And it depends on what company you go with and all that. There's one company that I went with. I had met a couple in Argentina that were going on a different company, and they were taking little submarines down and doing stuff like that. So, yeah.
Have you been on a submarine?
I have not, but I would love to.
That would freak me out.
They're not like real submarines. Right. It's not like the Titanic
kind of like the Nautilus
situation that happened. Yeah.
Right?
Well, I mean, the whole idea of a submarine, it's just like, I feel like not a lot of them, you're not going to be able to see much. You're just kind of in like a metal tube under the water. So it's not like it's going to be cool if it was like glass and you could like see around, Like,
yeah, these are more like little scooters that are underwater and you got a big glass bubble around so you can
like
look
that
around.
Is cool.
You can see. So cool. It is a cool idea.
I know what you're talking about.
So I'd like to go back and do that more, but those cruises are a little bit more expensive. I actually didn't even plan on going to Antarctica. I always just looked at trips and kind of based where I wanted to go off of that. If I just saw, like when I was living in Austria, I ended up going to, where did I go? I don't know, somewhere in Asia, just because I found a ticket for like $293. When are you going to go to Asia for that amount of money?
Right.
So I had seen a cruise that was going to Antarctica, and it was 17 days for $2,000, all food and board included for my own room. 17 days for $2,000. Yeah.
Mix those numbers up.
Yeah. But wild, right?
Cheap, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
So,
wow. And you speak a few languages, right?
A little bit. I need to practice my Russian. Actually, since I started judo, there's a lot more Russian speakers there. Tim from our gym, he and I have become pretty good friends. I need to practice more. His fiance and I are gonna start taking Russian classes together, I think. But yeah, so I speak a little Russian. Started that in high school.
Squad scraps. He was when you were competing, he was like, just to intimidate the other team, they had him on the side of the mat yelling Russian at you.
You want to know the funny thing? His was the only voice I heard.
Really?
Like when I heard him say, "Put your left leg up," I put my left leg up. I zoned in, and he was the only person I heard.
I just think it's so funny that like, hey, you speak Russian. Go yell Russian at her.
I told Eway to yell at me in Chinese. I said, anytime the other fucking team's yelling anything, you yell louder.
Can you speak Mandarin or Chinese?
No, but fuck them.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
What other languages besides Russian and English?
My Spanish, but I mean, the best my Spanish has ever gotten is holding like a 4 or 5 minute conversation where I'm not there anymore. I've gone back and forth with Russian and Spanish for so long, but I would say I'm more comfortable in Russian. And when I speak Spanish, my Spanish teacher tells me all the time that I have a Russian accent when I speak Spanish.
That's funny.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I enjoy Russian.
Language thing, you don't use it, you really do lose it. Like I worked in kitchens for 10 years. So like I used to be able to speak pretty good Spanish. Like not, like I would never say I was fluent, but like I could, if you drop me in the middle, I could, tell people what to do. I could, like I always said, like the way I described my Spanish is like, if you drop me in the middle of Mexico, I could probably figure out how to get home. Yeah. Like by talking to people,
that's great,
like that's probably, but like now I haven't really spoke Spanish in like 6 years, to be honest, ever since I've been out of the restaurant industry. And, it's something I definitely like, I know that it's like gone and it's like, man, I wish I would have like kind of kept up with that. I need like a Mexican or a buddy that I can just speak Spanish to. 'Cause that's really how you learn. Like actually speaking with people like
listening to everything in Russian.
Yeah, because like if you just like go to Spanish class and like you don't actually like implement it, like it just kind of goes in one ear, not the other.
Yeah.
At least that's how it was for me.
I was telling Tori last night, that's Tim's fiance, that whenever I am practicing Russian, it sounds silly, but I'll narrate everything that I do. I pick up, I put down, I take, I fold. Everything that I do, I have to say out loud, and that's a really good way to get your tongue to be able to do what you want it to do when you're speaking to someone. Because we've all experienced wanting to say something, and we're like, "Oh fuck, I know what I want to say, but I can't say it. I can't say it." But yeah, that's how I practice that. And even now when I'm not practicing Russian or Spanish, like I still have playlists for both, and I'll go. I have an actual pretty good set of songs that go Russian, Spanish, English, Russian, Spanish, English, so I can get used to just. I'd like to, I think, just dive into both of them at this point. I think it's at a place where I could build on both of them. And I've looked into, there's a method of learning languages where I would learn Spanish from a Russian teacher. So I would, instead of speaking any English at all, any explanations would be in Russian. So I think that might be my next step. Yeah.
I just know when I was playing baseball, the Latino guys, and we had one guy from Taiwan, they were just like, yeah, we'd listen to music and watch movies. Like literally, and they just pick up on it. Like,
yeah.
I don't know if I could just watch a movie in Russian or Spanish and just pick up on it.
You just got to put it as background noise. And the more you'll be like, oh, I know that word. Or there's podcasts. There's one guy that I listen to, and he'll sit there and he'll talk about the weather really slowly. He'll be like, today it's very windy outside. Wind. And it's slow enough that I understand 80% of what he's saying. And you just got to immerse yourself in it.
Yeah. They just taught us how to cuss.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, there's a couple guys that they'd mess with, and they tell them like, "Oh, go say this to this person," and they go and say it, and be some really fucked up thing.
Like, I mean, I just love the last time I think I really consistently spoke Spanish was on my wife and I's honeymoon, and there was one night we were coming home from like one of the bars on the resort, and like they had like just basically like golf carts just like kind of going up and down the place like all night, and we grab a ride from these two guys to take us back to our room. And, they think we're just, and I speak, like I said, decent Spanish, but I could follow what they were talking about. Yeah. And they were talking about my wife's ass. And I just like commented on it, like to them in Spanish, and they're like, oh, it was so funny. It was like it was hilarious.
I had a similar experience as a cashier. These two guys came through my line. I was working at Publix at the time, and they started talking about me in Russian. So I started checking them out in Russian, and they just looked at each other and like hauled ass.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
That's pretty funny.
And what got you into jiu-jitsu?
Believe it or not, I've always been a little scrappy.
Yeah. Really? Don't doubt it.
A little bit. So when I was in Kansas City, I started MMA classes that was mostly striking. We do some groundwork, but I was mostly interested in the striking aspect. Very on board with jiu-jitsu being gay.
Yeah. It's gay.
I saw one butt scooter, and I was like, I've seen gay porn that was less gay than that. I've full on seen a guy like sucking a dick and that was less gay. So very into striking. And I tried it, but it just wasn't my thing. Actually, my second jiu-jitsu class, I ended up hurting my shoulder, and I was out for like 6 weeks. Like I couldn't move. I had it was swollen up to here. Like I couldn't move anything. And when it started feeling better, I was like, well, I can't be bitten like a pretzel, but I can throw a punch for sure. So I started doing that. But because of my job and traveling so much, it was kind of hard to keep up with. When I moved to Ohio, I had an absolute mental breakdown because I couldn't find a decent gym to save my life for striking. And anyway, came here, and I was like, well, okay, maybe I'll do wrestling. But you can't find wrestling anywhere. So I just signed up for no gi. And
yeah, because I remember when you first started, you hated wearing
I hated it. There were so many times where it would be morning class, and Trevor would come over and be like, this is a gi class. Can you please put on your gi? I'd just strip in the middle of class. I hated it. It just, I don't know. Next day, I think it was my second or third day, I went and bought 2 gis from Kyle. I was like, fine, I'll just do whatever it takes to be here as often as I can. And now I have like 6 gis, I think. And I've transitioned into loving gi. I love it so much more. I thought I was going to be a no gi girl. But as a sport, I love it. So super stoked about it. So I squad scrapped. I didn't realize how much I had transitioned into only doing gi until I was like, oh fuck, this is a no gi competition. And I couldn't even remember the last no gi class I had gone to. So we'll see. I hopefully will be competing at IBJJF, but there's no one in my weight class. There's no one above me. So I've already dropped one weight class. So now I have to drop another if I want to compete.
Oh, wow.
We'll see how that goes. But I was really excited to compete in gi. So cross your fingers and toes and eyes, y'all.
Yeah, well, we'll be there. I'll be there competing. Pat's going to come and support.
Yeah.
I'll yell at you in Russian.
Yeah, yell at me in Russian. I love that, you know.
Teach them just a couple phrases to say back just so that people freak out on them.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
what do you want to learn?
Was there like a point where you felt like you just kind of started liking the gi more? What was it?
I never even realized. I truly never even realized until I said, oh, fuck, I got to start training no gi. And then there wasn't a lapel or anything. I'm like, well, what the fuck? And then it only took like 10 minutes to be like, oh, well, if I can't grab with a lapel, I'm getting a collar tie. If I'm not doing this, like it's very easy transition.
Things, yeah.
But yeah, I never realized until I signed up to do no gi with 2 weeks notice.
Yeah.
So,
well, my game through, you know, I've been training this 7 years now, and for the longest time, like I would always say like my gi game and my no gi game are almost the exact same. But like over the last year, I've definitely transitioned from and like gotten way more into like lapel based guards and stuff. Like I've never really fucked with any of that. But now I've really like I'm on a big gi kick right now. Like I've just been training a ton of gi, and then at IBJJF next weekend, I'm doing both. So I'm like, fuck, I should probably, you know, brush up on my no gi stuff. You know, I still train no gi like once a week roughly, but yeah, I mean, I just train way more.
Yeah. What about you training once a month over there? Gi or no gi?
Gi. I've never tried no gi.
Yeah. Well, speaking, you know, you mentioned that you need to lose weight for this, or you might need to lose weight for this competition. You lost a shitload of weight. Like I saw that transformation picture.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah. Crazy.
Congrats.
Right?
That's amazing. How did you do it?
I literally woke up one day and realized I'm fucking fat. And I'm going to start tomorrow. I'm starting Monday. It was
when was this? How long ago?
Maybe like I was living in Montana. That was maybe 3 years ago.
Okay.
Something like that. And just right then I said, okay, that's enough's enough. Like I sometimes you just don't realize how out of shape you get, you know? And I had reached an all-time high. I'd gotten on the scale and I was 238 pounds.
Wow.
Uh-huh. And so right then I just stripped down, took some before pictures. I said, I will never look like this again. Went to the gym that day, started training 4 times a week, lifting, and just eating high protein. That's literally it. I have people message me all the time, what's your secret? There's no fucking secret. You just got to make a plan and stick with it.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows that it's calories in, not calories out and moving your body.
Right.
And I'm going to preach high protein.
100%.
So how often are you training now?
I train 0 lifting, which I'm going to start doing again soon. Probably in October since I have my month off, but I've poured so much into jiu-jitsu. Like anytime I have time, if I have energy, I want to be at jiu-jitsu. So if that and judo, and now I started judo back in June, and that very easily started taking over my life as well. So I probably train about 20 hours a week.
Okay.
Yeah. Mondays are my heavy days. About 3.5 hours in the morning. And maybe about 3.5 hours in the afternoon, evening.
Holy cow.
With judo included, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. I love it. I just love how much you've fallen in love with it.
I'm an addict. That's all it is.
And how long have you been doing jiu-jitsu now?
I started January 8th.
Of this year?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Well, it's crazy how much you've improved too. Like,
yeah.
You know, I mean, it's just because you're training so much.
Yeah.
You know, because I remember training with you when you first came in, and then like training with you recently. I'm like, it's a completely different person.
I appreciate it.
I mean, it's just how it goes. You show up consistently, you get way better.
Yeah. Yeah. It's nice. It's nice feeling intentional. Like, yeah. Seeing yourself evolve, one, in jiu-jitsu, but as well as everything else that comes with it is fucking insane. Well, when I was just telling the story the other night, I have some anger issues. I'm a little scrappy, and that has so calmed down in the past. What month are we in? We're almost in October. So in the past almost 9 months, it's calmed down so much. Road rage in general. There was one day this guy fucking flicked me off, and I got so, you don't think I have time, baby? I ain't working today. So I followed him for so long that he had enough time to pull into the police department. You don't think I'm going to start a fight in a police department? So I got out of the car and started like walking towards him. Anyway, I don't do that anymore.
Well, have you been flipped off since then? No, so we don't know.
No.
We don't know if you don't do
Yeah.
that anymore.
All right. That's fair. I'll start fights on the road and see how I react when people get mad about
Yeah.
it. I do. That's another thing.
I'm
I
gonna
used to
see you
start
in your
fights
van.
on the road.
I'm just gonna drive by and just flip you off.
Go
See
for
what
it.
happens.
Okay. That's what mood I'm in. I got time.
I got time. Oh my God.
Especially being followed by a van. I'd probably pull into a police station too.
Yeah.
And then some 5'3" girl gets out trying to fight you. And he fucking gets in his car and he starts like, no, come on. You wanted to flick me off. Let's talk about it. What are you upset about? And then he's like getting in his car. No, you pulled in here. Come talk to me. And he won't. Bitch.
How many Zens do you have in right now? I've seen you're just fucking eating them like
Just
Tic Tacs.
one.
Okay. I feel like you're a Zen addict.
Yeah, I have to have something bad. My
Yeah.
This is it. This is it. I've cut down on my caffeine. So it's just nicotine and it's good for you cognitively. So can you imagine if I didn't?
Yeah.
I tell myself the same thing when I throw in a dip. It's good for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good for me. Well, if you look at, I did the math.
No,
I
it
looked
is
up.
good for you though. Nicotine is.
Right. For the cognitive benefits,
Yeah.
for sure. But I looked it up. I was like curious, how many milligrams of nicotine are in like a grizzly pouch or whatever. Yeah, you would Copenhagen.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think I looked up Copenhagen, like whatever you do, and it's like 11 milligrams, and he throws in like 3 at a time.
Oh,
So
I do. Would you like 10 of these?
Yeah.
I do 3 because I'm a lady. That's why I can do so many.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if I was popping fucking 12s?
Yeah. Be bouncing off the walls.
Yeah. Actually, maybe I should start doing that. I'm going to start steroids when I get my blue belt so I could just start 12s as well.
There you go.
There
Just
you
really
go.
fucking go for it, all angles.
Yeah, just
Mm-hmm.
beef up.
Start microdosing angel dust before competitions.
Yeah.
Cool.
We recommend testosterone. It's pretty great.
I mean, that's part of the cycle.
Yeah.
Just waiting for that blue belt.
Oh my God.
Oh, man.
Well, you mentioned earlier that you got really into hockey. What's the story behind that?
So scrappy little Amanda got into a fight in school one time and my mom took away my PlayStation, which was like the ultimate thing at the time. And in my little peon brain, I said, fuck it, I'm going to watch TV. And literally the first thing I turned on TV and it was hockey. And they were in a fight. And I said, this fucking backfired, didn't it, mama? So decided I was going to be a hockey fan. I was in middle school at the time, probably 8th grade, I want to say, something. So loosely, right? I didn't like dive into it. But over the years, I started following it more and more. I don't even remember which teams were in the first game I ever saw. I remember it was Pittsburgh because I remember seeing the Penguin thinking like, that's a little bitch fucking, animal for, such
These
a
big,
scrappy
tough guys,
game.
yeah.
Hey, don't be dogging the Penguins, man. I love not just the hockey team, but animals themselves. I love penguins.
I saw tons of them in Antarctica.
Yeah.
Totally down for the cause when it's the animals, but Penguins,
Yeah,
as far as
team.
hockey, can
Yeah.
be fucking so good. Right next to Boston.
No. What the fuck
Are you
is
St.
that?
Louis?
What?
St. Louis fan.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so started diving into it more and more over time. I started learning Russian in high school. I learned about the Russian 5 back in the 90s. So I decided to be a Detroit Redwings fan.
Mm-hmm.
Started, I think I was 19 or 20, but every year I'd fly up for the home opener. And my first trip ever was just like one of the coolest trips I've ever taken. I flew up to Detroit by myself. And everyone was so stoked for me, first of all. Well, besides one lady, I had been dropped off at my Airbnb and I couldn't like get inside. So I went up and asked this like post office lady that, hey, is there somewhere I could like get internet? Because I don't have any service. I just need to get a hold of blah, blah, blah. And she just looks at me and says, oh, baby, what are you doing here? Like, why are you in this part of town? Like, what the fuck? But it actually ended up being really cool. I had rented a room from a guy, and then somebody else was renting the other room who was also there. His name, Honore. And he was older than me, but super fucking cool. So ended up being friends with him. I went to the hockey game that night. We obviously didn't sit together. But I had sat next to these 2 guys who were so fucking stoked for me that I was there, that every time they came back, they'd bring me a beer, like a 22-ounce beer, whatever the big ones are. Got absolutely wasted. One of the best nights of my life. We won against Boston. I hated Boston with every fiber of my being at the time. So it was like the coolest first game to ever see. The next day I had scheduled a tour of the Joe Louis Arena. And I always show up early, first of all, but I was so excited. I showed up extra early, like 45 minutes. And the person at the front desk called the guy doing the tour and was like, chick's here already. And he said, okay, I'll be right there. So while we waited on everyone else, he took me to watch the Red Wings practice, nose on the glass. Datsuka's skating by me, Zetterberg skating by me. Like, my mind is fucking blown. He was such a cool guy. His name was Stanley. He kept me after the rest of the tour left, took me to a few parts of the arena that he wasn't allowed to take the tour. And he said, hey, are you coming to the game tomorrow? I said, yeah. He said, come and find me. I'm in this section. I have something for you. He had given me a puck for my very first game.
Wow,
a game
that's
puck.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So it was just like such a cool experience. So now I'm not into hockey like I used to be because jiu-jitsu's taken over, but Red Wings till I die, baby.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool. You just kind of like fell in love with it.
Have
Just
you tried?
out of fucking, because your mom took your PlayStation away.
Yeah.
Have you tried skating or anything like that?
I've tried.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not very good at it.
Yeah.
I had this idea that I was going to be a goalie because in college, I worked at a hockey rink. I had as a bartender.
Okay.
And they have beer leaks. So I was like, I'm just going to go be a fucking goalie and not have to worry about it. I can't fucking skate to save my life. So gave up that pipe dream real quick. And I can't skate.
Yeah. Hockey is huge here in St. Louis. I mean, you're not seeing the talent that comes out of some other places, but ever since they won the Stanley Cup, and then the amount of players that we did, there was one draft, I think we had like 6 or 7 guys drafted in the first round out of St. Louis, and it just blew up from there.
Yeah.
I started playing hockey when I was 3.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Little squirt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, loved it, and I played up until, my last year was my junior year of high school, just because of baseball. And then once I retired from baseball, I think I got back into it during COVID, and it was up until this year. I've been skating like 3 times a week, and it's a
That's awesome.
Beer league hockey is so much. We actually won one of the leagues or teams that I was on last year. We won the league, and they gave us a cup and all this stuff. And
that's cool.
We were partying up at Obie Clark's, and then John Butchergross is right. He's the hockey analyst. Well, he was in town for the Frozen Four. So I've got video. He came over and was partying with us, drinking out of the cup with us.
That's
and then
cool.
Keith Kachuk, Big Walt came over and was hanging out with us. So it was probably one of the coolest nights like I had been a part of in a long time.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it's.
Do you still play beer league?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, well, I'll come watch you sometime.
Wednesday nights.
Him and Nick play on the same team.
Yeah. Yeah.
I told Nick I would go watch him, and he told me this was forever ago. And then he's like, my games are 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Like, count me out.
Yeah. No. So Wednesday nights we either play at 8, 9:15, or 10:30 at Brentwood.
All right, let me know your next 8 o'clock game.
Yeah, I was like, I'll go.
Let's go and watch him, but it's got to be
that Nick's played on that team with us, actually. I think I might need to connect him with those guys because I know we're looking for some players since we've got a lot missing right now. But Nick and I are on another team that plays in a different league. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. It can get pretty chippy and pretty competitive. Like Wednesday nights, it's a pretty solid league. There's some guy, like we had a guy that played Division I hockey.
That's cool.
There's some guy, like high level hockey players in that league. It's a lot of fun. You're supposed to be 30 and up, so still pretty good hockey, still pretty fast, and it can get pretty chippy. There's some fights that come out of that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Is that the one where people are talking shit to Nick and you're like, oh boy, let him go?
No, that was the other league. That one's not 30 and up. That's the league that I was playing with him in. That one, because you're playing. I think there's like 5 teams, so you're playing each team multiple times over and over and over again, and you start like, I'll be honest. Our team's kind of dirty. We're kind of cheap, and we stir up a lot of shit, and so a lot of teams don't like us, and it usually can get pretty physical when we're playing.
No, I'll definitely come watch you guys.
Yeah.
And then,
Cool.
yeah, there was one time this guy just put on a bad hit on our guy, and Nick was right there, and the guy got in Nick's face. And they were like chirping at Nick, and Nick's just smiling at him, and I'm like, oh God, they're talking shit and fucking with the wrong guy on our team. Everybody's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, Nick would fuck all of these guys up with no problem. I'm like, Nick, really? Because he's high at all of our games.
Okay. Nick's just high all the time.
And so I'm like, yeah, dude, he's a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. That dude will and he wins in a lot of the competitions that he goes to. That dude will fuck them up. And they're like, Nick. I'm like, yes, Nick.
That's the cool part about jujitsu because there's so many people that if you saw it in bar, you'd be like, I could fucking
yeah.
All the time.
Well, I get this, that the one the scrap that you guys did. What the guy? He was the short guy, black. He was wearing just basketball shorts and a long sleeve Under Armour shirt.
Yeah, he was definitely did not look the part. No, but he he was
annihilated.
Yeah,
he got beat up a lot, but he was scrappy as shit.
He was hard to submit.
Yeah, he couldn't submit him. He was like, that dude was getting choked out. I'm like, damn, it's been like a fucking minute.
Yeah, he was eating shit.
Yeah, he was getting his ass kicked, but he
pass out, don't tap out.
Yeah.
that was the survey I was going around before the competition. Pass out or tap out. What do you guys think? Just to see how many people would tell me to pass out.
Well, then the coach of one of the teams, he had the red curly hair with the glasses and real skinny.
Oh yeah.
I forgot what. Yeah, like.
Well, did you see the one guy that would just slap his guys? And
yeah,
bitch slap his dudes before they'd go out. I was like, every time we did it, we'd all just start cracking up. Like right before they'd go out onto the mat, he'd like bitch slap them.
Maybe that's what I need.
There you go.
Which one of you want to do it? Both of you, I know, but which one is going to do it?
This is
you want
as
you
we
both
say.
Get
This
one side.
Let me get the right. You're left-handed. Yeah, so perfect.
This is with her consent, people.
Yes.
That with all the communist languages being yelled at me, no one's gonna fucking know what's happening. I start spouting all my anti-Semitic bullshit at the end just to tie it all together, let everyone know where I stand.
There it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh boy.
Well, you told me to say, I wanted to ask you a question the other night, but you said let's save it for the podcast. But what's the gun situation you mentioned and post-divorce dating?
Oh yeah.
Let's hear that story.
Oh gosh, post-divorce dating was a wild ride, but one of the most wild dates I went on. One of the guys was telling me he has a gun. Cool. My dad gave me a gun when I was 5. Dope. Proud of you. I'm all for guns. So in my mind, I'm fantastic. I don't have to, no girl wants to think that they have to be the one to defend, Yeah. And I was like, cool. And he's like, but there's nothing in it. Okay. Why do you have a gun if you don't have any bullets in there?
Throw it at the guy?
What's your big plan here? And for some reason on this date, instead of explaining to me why the gun wasn't loaded, he decided to instead point it at me and dry fire it. Yeah. Isn't that wild?
Oh.
Shut the fuck up.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Literally dry fired it, pointing it straight at me. And yeah, wild.
That is nuts.
Whoa.
Isn't that crazy?
Not
even my worst date.
No?
What was your worst?
No, honestly, that probably wasn't my worst date, but definitely it's scariest and most what the fuck.
Well,
yeah.
But yeah, I asked him after when I realized what had happened, I was kind of silent for a second. I just looked at him. I said, what the fuck? He goes, I told you it was empty. I said, why? Why? And he said, well, it's empty. And I said, okay, but what if you are wrong? And I saw the color drain from his face. You know what I mean? But it doesn't, shut the fuck, you're retarded. You are so fucking stupid. And this guy, is an elementary school teacher.
What?
Wow.
How fucking crazy. Yeah.
Was this here?
No.
Okay.
So how are the dating apps treating you? We touched briefly on this at the
one that I'm allowed on. I've been banned from Hinge for a while. I don't know what that was about. I have some ideas. I know how I talk to people, so probably that. And then it was Tinder. I can't get back on. I've been shadow banned. It'll go as if I can make a profile, but no one ever pops up. So, and then Facebook dating has completely disappeared from there. So. I have Bumble, but I think I might have been shadow banned from there because I have one person who pops up a day and as a match of someone I've never even seen.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never seen this profile before. And so for shits and giggles, I'll just, see what happens. I think the last guy I said, what did I say to him? He was listed as a conservative. So I asked him where he stood on the Jews controlling everything and he blocked me. But I haven't been banned yet, so we'll find out. But I'm not on there either. I forget that I have it all the time,
Yeah.
Probably no reason to have it.
That was one thing I never really got into. Because it was pretty popular in pro ball. Guys, married, single, not, they all had it.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was getting popular that got popular in my last year of pro ball. But yeah, I mean, this everywhere we went, guys that's when Tinder was coming out or just came out.
It was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
That's how long it's been. Yeah, it's been 10 years, 11 years since I retired or finished playing. But yeah, no, I never got into it.
It's awful. It's just awful. When I got here, I went through a little spurt where I was dating, but I didn't even want to go out to dinner with people because it just like never really, I knew pretty soon into it. I've got my own $30. I don't need your $30 for dinner. So I started saying, let's go on a walk, and I'd have the same loop. And then that way, within 15 minutes, if I could exit, I could exit.
Yeah.
If we were having a nice time, we could keep
lap,
walking. Yeah. Also, everybody wants to sit here and say, oh, I love being outside. I love this and that. But trying to get some people on a walk, it's fucking crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I take that back. I was on apps right after the divorce. Never used it.
Never went on a date?
No. Actually, I got catfished.
Oh.
Yeah, now that I think, yeah. So this was right after divorce, set it up. That was the one time I used it, and then I never did it again. And it was a girl that had a bunch of pictures of herself on there with other people.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I never really could tell
which girl,
That's
which it was.
Right there.
Right. And so I was like, oh, if it's this one, whatever.
It's always the ugliest one.
We'll take a chance. She wasn't ugly, but
you didn't say she wasn't the ugliest.
but showed up thinking I was meeting someone else. And then once I was just like, listen, I just, if you would have just been honest with me, I probably would have still said yes, but
had different expectations.
Yeah. So I'm going to go somewhere else.
I had a similar experience with a guy who showed up, and all of his pictures, like, it's one thing. He showed up looking like the father of that guy. Like, he looked so significant. I don't know how old. Those pictures had to be so old because he was all great at, which I don't mind. Like, some girls like a silver fox, but like, don't put
a picture of
pictures from 10 years ago when you don't look like that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like me putting pictures out with hair.
Yeah. That I was pissed for Gina with that. I don't know Gina, but total alliance here.
You don't like the hair? You don't like the bald look?
I think it's bullshit.
I think
you'd rather me have a
a
cul-de-sac in the back.
If you didn't have the beard, I would say but with the beard, I think it looks good.
I'm growing it out.
I think the hair looks better. What does Gina like?
I think she's used to it now.
I don't know. I pulled up that video of the rack system with you and Kyle the other day.
Yeah.
And I saw you with hair again, and I was like all mad for Gina all over again.
Well, I guess I can still grow it back.
I like a man with hair.
Yeah.
So
I just got this, I just kept, like, anytime I'd see pictures, and it always came from like jiu-jitsu pictures or videos or whatever, like just like setting up my phone like while we're training, and I'd see like the back of my head, and I'm like, oh, I fucking hate the way that looks. And
it sucks.
Yeah, it sucks. It's just, look at you over there with your beautiful head of hair. But like, I always knew it was coming, like every
you do have a nice head of hair.
Thanks.
How old are you?
37.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Every guy in my family is bald. Like my dad, both grandpas, almost all my uncles. Yeah, I just kind of knew this was destined to happen. But then, getting on testosterone, I think, really accelerated it. Yeah.
So
I got on that, and it just, I feel like it just, like, it was going a little bit before that, but then it was going before that. But then I feel like once I got on the testosterone, which has been about a year now, it fucking.
You ever think about taking a little trip over to Turkey?
Thought about it. Yeah, me and my brother-in-law were talking about doing it. Like,
getting plugs?
Yeah, well, we talked about, because it's not that expensive, from what I've heard. I heard you can go over there for like $2,000.
You should go over and just get jet black hair.
Just with the red beard. Look like fucking Napoleon ice cream or whatever it is.
Just go over there and tell them to make you look Brazilian so you start winning all of your matches. That's what language you should learn is Brazilian. Then we can start screaming at you in Brazilian, and that has to help something.
Well, I think the refs at IBJJF, I definitely would get the nod if it was a tied match.
Yeah. Actually, I should change my last name to Silva.
Yeah. I mean, it's like Smith over there.
Yeah.
How many Silvas are there? I mean, there's so many. Like in the UFC, I could think of like 4 or 5 different fighters that have the last name Silva. Like,
wild,
pretty crazy. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I've considered it. I mean, I can always grow it back out, but I don't know. It is easy though, because it's like I don't ever have to think about what my head looks like.
I get that.
Like I wake up, it looks the exact same as when I went to bed, which is kind of nice. I just shave it like every 2 or 3 days.
If I was one of those girls who can look hot with the shaved head, I'd be right there with you, buddy.
Yeah, it's convenient, especially with like training and just kinda
Training's
owe
the
it.
biggest thing.
For sure. I would imagine with you and girls, like, having, cause it's like, I think about Gina, like she doesn't wash her hair every time she showers, but like, I feel like if you're doing jujitsu, you kind of have to, right?
Yeah, it's hard. And then I was an idiot recently and went and chopped off a bunch of my hair. My nephew, he's super into Dragon Ball, so we were having a Dragon Ball Z party. You guys ever get into that?
I did
My
when I was
kids are.
younger. Yeah.
So Android 18?
Yeah.
So I was like, buddy, I used to dress up as Android 18 for conventions.
Oh yeah, you could. I
And
could totally
so
see that.
he's
yeah.
like, can you do that today? Fuck yeah, buddy. How often are you going to turn 7? So I just went into the bathroom and chopped.
You did it yourself?
I chopped my hair off right then and there, right like an hour before his party, and dressed up as Android 18.
No.
But it was fine up until I went to jiu-jitsu, and now my hair's even more everywhere, and I fucking hate myself.
It's more everywhere when it's short.
Yeah,
It's hard to
'cause you
probably put up in
can't-
a bun.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Okay, that makes sense. Huh. Never thought about that. Never had. I did have long hair at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Enough
How
that
long?
I could man bun it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gina hated that.
Yeah.
Oh God, she hated that
Because
more
you
than me
looked
being
gay,
bald.
probably.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
pretty gay.
I never man bunned it, but I had it long when baseball players, low.
Yeah,
So it came down.
That's also a
just-
hockey thing. Stay
yeah.
flow, bro.
Yeah.
just above the just above the shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whenever
Yeah.
you're, I would feel like whenever my hair was long, I wore a hat
Yeah,
like constantly.
I still
it
just
was-
wear a hat most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, ever since I've cut my hair, I don't wear a hat as much. Well, because I feel like wearing a backwards hat looks a little funny now without the hair.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Because that little gap
yeah,
right
you got
here.
the gap. You can see like the space between like hat
Get a
and
little
my head.
toupee and paste it on the inside of the gap.
Just on every hat.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah.
a little bit of hair that like comes out the front.
Did you see that jiu-jitsu match recently where the guy's toupee started falling off and he had to
Yes.
stop mid-match and put it back
So
on?
funny. Like, why would you think that that's a good idea to wear while you do that? People are just grabbing on your head constantly, like that, and you're sweating. Like, it's a horrible idea.
Yeah.
I hope he won.
I hope you did.
Especially after that.
Yeah. Cause
Oh man.
Can you imagine winning like gold and the only highlight reel is you fixing your toupee?
Yes. That's all. The only thing people care about is the fact that you had your toupee came off during a jiu-jitsu match.
Yeah.
God damn.
So fucking funny.
Man.
I'm worried about my contacts falling out. I could imagine worrying about my hair falling off.
Yeah, dude. Getting my contacts used to fall out.
I don't even wear 'em anymore.
constantly.
No,
Mm-mm.
I'm still gonna eye poke you.
That's fine. Go for it. And don't have to worry about my contacts falling out. Not going to see it
Fuck
coming,
you.
so it's
Yeah.
even better.
Not gonna see it coming.
That's my plan of attack and make him blind, and then I can take his back.
Yeah, there you go. Get behind him. Get behind the big guys. That's what we were talking about before the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Try and fall on top and smash.
Yeah.
Yeah, I came in trying to fight somebody in the office, but he left, so
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think he was interested.
No, he didn't want
Can't
that
take
smoke.
the heat.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah, Matt Scarin didn't want the smoke.
Wasn't afraid of me though, so
Yeah.
it says
Yeah.
He has no idea I kick your ass all the time.
right.
Was it you who came in late the other day?
When you and I were rolling together.
Yeah. I was in a 3-person group, and it was me, a woman who weighs less than me, and then Hayden, who probably has a good 20, 30 pounds
That's
on
what
me,
I was
something
like.
like
That's
that.
what I looked over and I was like, why are those two
And
guys? Why
instead
didn't
of sending Hayden over, I just walk over to him. I said, "Let's go." Why? Why did I
Why
do
did you do
that?
that?
And it was mid-roll that I said, I'm stupid. Like,
my son will do shit like that. I'll be like, he'll just like do something and he'll be like, Daddy, why did I do that?
me, yeah.
Like, hey, I remember I went and dropped my toy or I went and threw my toy in the toilet. Why did I do that?
Impulse control
I
kid.
don't know, buddy. Like, why did you do that? Yeah, that's a question you ask yourself,
Yeah.
not me.
my kid, my youngest, he'll do something, and I'm like, dude. He goes, my brain told me to do it.
I like him.
Yeah.
He and I could be friends.
Yeah.
I remember my dad used to tell me, Amanda, you've got to think. And every time I'd say, if I could remember to think, I would just think in the first place. Like it doesn't fucking, it doesn't compute.
Mhm.
But yeah, I just did whatever I wanted to, but same thing. Impulse
Control. I've
Yeah.
got a similar syndrome. My wife, it's like, it drives my wife crazy because I'm
I
so
believe they
impulsive.
call that today the fuck around and find out
Yeah.
gene.
Yeah, I definitely have that for
Yeah.
sure.
It's
Like,
been past 35 years.
it's, I think me and my wife are a good match because of that. She is not that at all.
She
Like,
pretty
she's-
laid back.
She's laid back, but she's very calculated on
Okay.
like decisions and stuff. Like the house we bought, for instance. Like we were not looking to buy a house at all. Like the house that we were,
Did you know a good real estate agent? Is that what did
Yeah.
it?
Well, we were literally driving around with our kids. our oldest son, you know, he used to like he used to always sleep really well in the cars, in like the car seat. So we were just like driving around one day and like he fell asleep and I was like, well, let's just keep driving. And you know, she's on Zillow like looking at houses and she's like, oh, look at this house over here. This looks cute. And like we just went and looked at it. I was like, you want to go look at it? I mean, no, it's vacant. We can go in there right now if you guys want. And so we went in there and like I was like, I think I could see us living here. And like we were starting to outgrow our house. I mean, I say outgrow, like we could still live in that house, but it was just, you know, you have a kid and you just get so much shit. Like there's so many, like the pack and play, the crib, like all the toys, all the little things that you need. Like our little 1,000 square foot house started feeling like really small. Yeah. And we just went and looked at it and I was like, we could buy this, you know, like why not? Let's just do it. And there was no looking at other houses. There was no like, it was just like, oh, fuck it, let's do it. But that's just one instance, but you
need someone like that
100%.
That's my ex-husband. I had a great divorce, thankfully, but like, had he not been so chill about everything, I'd learn a fact about some random country and I'd say, hey, I didn't know this about Nicaragua. You want to go? And he would say, you know, just because you don't know something doesn't mean we have to go there. I'm like, but it's the best way to learn. He'd be like, all right, just book it. Fine, sounds good. You know, you need someone who's just like, yeah, whatever, let's just chill.
How did you guys meet? You said he worked on ships and shit?
Yeah. Well, at the time he was working at GNC, the vitamin shop. And I had walked in and he kept like staring at me. And I was wearing leggings and like relatively tight fitting t-shirt. I'm like, does this fucker think I'm gonna like steal a thing of protein? Like, where am I hiding this? And I was getting kind of mad at him. But when I checked out, he'd asked me for my phone number, and there we go. And not that long later, we were getting a divorce.
Just jumped right into marriage.
Yeah. No, we dated for a while, got married. We never should have gotten married. He's a great guy. I have absolutely zero to say about him. We even stayed married longer because he let me keep insurance so I could get a few doctor's appointments in. And before I lost my insurance, he's fantastic. But you're not meant to be. You're not meant to be. It's not a big deal. It's sad when you're like, you know, shutting a chapter of your life, but I'm the happiest I've ever been. And I hope the same for him.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it went with my ex-wife and my divorce. I mean, it was very amicable. We did it all of ourselves, and
how nice is that?
It's great. Saved us a bunch of money too. That way,
hating each other just because it didn't work out.
Well, we got 2 kids together. So I mean, and that's the thing.
Kind of tied together for life now.
Yeah,
you know?
and
that doesn't stop people from arguing for some reason.
It's nuts, you know, and a lot of it has to do with ego. You know, guys more than women have this inflated ego, and they can't let it go. And I think if more people could, you know, these divorces would probably be a lot smoother, but for whatever reason, those guys hang on to this shit and try to turn it around, and they want that, oh, woe is me, and like,
yeah, maybe, but I also think it's on both parties.
It's
not just a man.
I agree. No, I agree, but the people, well, I guess because I've been dating, have been divorced. I get to hear that side of it, but ultimately, I mean, at the same time, like, yeah, it's a two-way street. I mean, you both have to admit fault at where you are, and once you own it, I think that's the easiest way to move on from it. Yeah. I mean, the first thing I did was when everything happened was, you know, I think I surprised the shit out of my ex-wife when I apologized to her after everything that happened, and you know, I had to own up to where I fucked up, and ultimately that was the easiest way for us to move forward. And then once you have kids involved, like everybody's like, how, you know, you don't hate her, or like you guys don't hate each other. I'm like, no, the kids are half of her, half of me. Like same thing for her. Like, like we love our kids 100%. So if she hated me, that means she hates half the kids. Or if I hated her, I hate that.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense. And so, no, we have a great relationship.
She's with someone now, right?
Yeah, yep.
I've heard you talk about it in previous podcasts. And how was that for you? Because I wondered for a long time, like, how am I going to feel? Am I going to be the first one in a relationship? Is he, you know, am I going to be sad? How is it going to make me miss things? Yeah. I don't miss anything now, but is that going to change things? And so how did that work out for you?
You know, we were separated, and then you know, we were leading towards divorce, and they met, and you know, everything was so far gone, like between us, that it was almost like it was like a relief. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
okay. And I mean, he's a great guy. He treats the kids well, treats her well. I have zero complaints. That's all I would want, you know. Like I said, the biggest thing is I want my kids I didn't want my kids to see the relationship that her and I had because it was so bad.
Yeah.
You know, and so
when you force something that's not meant to be.
Right. I mean, because that's the thing is we were only together 3 months when she had gotten pregnant with our first. And culture wise, it's like, hey, you got to get married. So we're like, all right. So we got married 3 weeks before Connor was born.
Wow.
Yeah, at the courthouse. And then just a lot of projects, raising a kid, and then bam, pregnant again. I mean, they're 15 months apart. So, you know, it was just one thing after another. And then we finally were settled down in our new house, and COVID hit, and now we're stuck together. You know, there's no projects left. And so now it's like, well, we don't really like each other, at least at that point.
Oh.
You know, now we've got a great relationship. And I mean, shit, like last year we took a trip down to Florida for Christmas. It was about a year ago. We took that before Connor started kindergarten. She flew down with the boys, and I drove down with him and our dog. So it was like 10 hours, 11 hours together in the car with him. And I mean, we do a lot of stuff together. We hang out. Cool. So like, you know, the last CX BJJ we went to, they were there with us hanging out.
That's cool.
They were supposed to, I had gotten them tickets to come to this next one, but they're actually having a Halloween party that night at their house, so they can't make it. But you know, like I do Thanksgiving with them, like cool. All that stuff. So I mean, I think it's more awkward for their families. Like when I show up at Thanksgiving, they're like, "What the fuck is he?"
Ex-husband doing here? Yeah. But as the time goes by,
yeah, but no, exactly. You just bring a little alcohol and maybe some weed, and everybody's chill after that. Like, everybody, oh, we like this guy.
Yeah, he's friendly. I like him.
Yeah, that's cool.
So no, I mean, it's all good, and everybody knows it's all about the kids, and you know how we can move forward to where they're still living their best life. So they get to see their mom happy and in a good relationship. Yeah. And then they get to see her and I actually have a really good relationship now. And then eventually, you know, find somebody and have a good relationship with them. So
it's funny how it becomes more of a relief, because I had the same feeling when Kevin got into a relationship. He had put it up a few months ago, and I wasn't sad. I wasn't jealous. I was just, it was like a breath of fresh air. And I didn't expect that. I expected any emotion but that, but it felt like, okay, the Band-Aid is ripped and everything is okay. Yeah. And I think that's something I've learned from my job. Nothing is a big deal unless you make it a big deal.
We make it a bigger deal in our heads.
It's not. Everyone's alive. Everyone's healthy and together. Like, how cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
No, we do it. And then, like I said, we do a lot of stuff together where
this is where I advertise my OnlyFans.
Okay.
Just kidding. For now. For now.
But yeah, I mean, and now like the kids are in sports, like, and I'll be honest, it's had its difficulties in terms of dating, and just the women I've dated have not been comfortable with that. I'm just like, I would think this would be a good thing. Like, you're not having to worry about, like, I'm not ever going to get back with her. Like that's not there. Yeah. You know, it hasn't been that way for years. And you
guys are divorced now.
Yeah,
it's not like
exactly. And she's moved on, and she's happy, and I'm happy. So it's not like we just have, like, the way I explain it now, people are like, this is going to sound really weird because she is the mother of my kids, but the way the relationship has kind of evolved is now, you know, it's almost like a brother-sister type relationship that we have. And that's it. Like, I care about her. I have love for her. She's the mother of my kids. But I'm not in love with her.
I totally understand that.
I don't think, and that's the thing, is we sat down, like, she's like, I'm not in love with you. I don't think I ever have been. I'm like, oh, good. I'm glad you said that, because I'm the same way.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
I was mad at every person in the world who wasn't in love with me.
Oh, God, I fucking
hate so many people.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
No.
But it makes it even better when you eventually do find someone.
Yeah.
Do you feel like with dating, the fact that you have a good relationship with your ex has been a positive, or do you think most people are like, what the fuck, you still talk to her?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that's been
your biggest holdup.
Yeah, it's been an issue.
Really?
Yeah. You know, like, I think, you know, I've dated and that's the thing, is because she's very open. She wants me to find somebody. And, you know, there was one that I was dating earlier this year, and they became really good friends. And that was great. And it just so happened this girl wanted to have kids, and I don't want any more kids. So I'm like, hey, and we just went our separate ways. We're still friends. We still chat here and there.
Yeah.
But for the most part, every other one that I've dated has kind of had an issue with it. And they're just like, I don't know if it's jealousy or what, or just insecure, but yeah, it's been like, I had one
insecurity, because I feel like before I got a divorce, I felt like I probably would have felt the same. But now when I hear that someone's still in good terms with their ex and can say great things about them, like I admire that. I'm like, okay, this is someone. The only thing that all of my exes have ever had in common is the fact that they're all good people. Behind their back, oh, so and so, oh, he's such a good guy. Like he's such a good guy.
Yeah, I mean,
and so I have nothing bad to say about anyone.
I can't say anything bad about any of the women that I've dated.
Yeah.
It's just that's just the one thing that.
But people love talking bad about people they've dated that
absolutely.
didn't work out.
I'm sure that and that's the thing. It's just like, it's just this one. It's usually this one thing that comes up, and I'm also really busy. I got a lot of shit going on that like making time to date is tough, and so. That's been an issue, but there's, I had one ex, she's like, you're still in love with her. I'm like, yeah, it's a good joke. I was never in love with her, but all right.
Yeah.
So no, I mean, eventually the right person will come along and be fine with it, and we'll see what happens.
Both find your people, guys.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it.
I'm not either.
I've said for the longest time, like I thought it would be a person who ended up making me want to settle down. Instead, I found a jiu-jitsu gym and a judo gym that I can't picture my life without, and loving my job on top of it. And those are the things that are making me want to stay here. I never thought, I always thought it would be a person, but I don't know. It's, that's just taken such a back seat because I'm so happy in all of my life. Every compartment of my life is, I'm so grateful for. I say every day I'm top 1%.
Wow.
Even living in the van, roof over my head, I have a bed to sleep on, I have food in the fridge, I literally have everything I need. I literally have hundreds of dollars, I have so much to be grateful for. So, that's the last thing on my mind. And I never thought I'd say that. That was a big priority in my life for so long, but
money.
No, finding someone.
Yeah.
Money was never my thing. Freedom was always number one. I never gave a fuck about
what
money.
I was just about to say. I think for both of us, I think the one thing that we always talk about, especially with our jobs, is the freedom that it gives us.
Yeah.
Because we can literally, we can sit here and podcast for a couple hours with somebody and sit down and have these conversations, and still our businesses are working for us.
Yeah.
So
how cool is that? Like, what a cool life. Yeah. Being an adult is so fucking cool. People, I don't know, as an adult, they're like, just wait till you're an adult. You're not going to be able, but
I was like,
do whatever, but you can do whatever you want as an adult. You just have to
do it.
Do it.
Like
no one's stopping you but you.
Right.
Yes.
If I would have let anybody stop me from doing anything, I wouldn't have gone to 40 countries. I wouldn't have started jiu-jitsu. I wouldn't have done all these things. I had some guy come up to my fucking front porch the other day and say, "Don't you think you're a little too old to be talking about fighting?" And I fucking, no, I don't. I think you're a little too fucking out of shape to be talking to me about what I'm doing. Like, who does that?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I don't even remember where I was going with this.
There's that saying, you don't take advice from people, or no, don't take criticism from people you wouldn't take advice from.
100%. But I wake up and do exactly what I want, and that's why I'm happy. And I love going to jiu-jitsu. I love going to judo. Like, I don't know. Just don't let anyone stop you. Do whatever the fuck you want, because that is the point of being here.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a good spot to end this, unless you have anything else you want to chat about that we didn't get to.
You guys want to talk about politics?
Not really.
All right. I'll start my own podcast.
Yeah. There you go. Well, we can get you set up with Murph. You two can go back and forth.
Who's Murph?
He's our producer.
He does a lot of political content, or used to. He doesn't really anymore. But yeah, he's got a
lot to say.
All right, come and get it, Murph.
Yeah. I think you guys would align on pretty much everything.
Yes.
Oh, cool. All right.
Yeah.
I got some stuff to say.
You guys would have a fun one.
Yeah, for sure. But
tell him to meet me in the cigar lounge.
Yeah. Well, he's in Florida now.
He lives in Miami.
I'll wait.
Yeah.
I saw the setup out there. I'm happy to wait.
Yeah, it's
my
cool
new
setup.
home might be the parking lot. I might just move back into the van and just live here. I'm trying to decide what business I'm going to start to be here, but
yeah.
Get yourself a membership, and then there you go.
Go back to van life, and you can just come in here and use the shower.
Yeah, perfect.
Exactly.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Of course.
I appreciate it.
Amanda, as you know, I know you're an avid listener of the show. We end the show the same way every time. So
you got something in mind already? It's a tombstone game.
Yeah.
Here lies Amanda. What's it say on your tombstone?
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Love it.
Just wake up every day and say, fuck yeah.
There you go.
It's perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for coming in.
Yes.
And this was a lot of fun.
Thanks.
I was looking forward to this one. So thanks to everybody at home that watched or listened to this episode. If you haven't clicked that subscribe button yet for us, please do so. That would help us out a ton. Pat and I have a goal to get to 500 subscribers on YouTube for the end of 2025. So If you haven't done that yet, please do that for us. Share this episode with a friend. Hit that like button. Comment what you thought below. And we will see you next time.